Igbo leaders fought hard for one Nigeria while Northern Yoruba leaders opposed. Late Chinua Achebe one says. Achebe says the first object were the Northerners led by the Saraduna, who were followed closely by the Awolowo clique that had created the action group. Achebe says the first to object were the Northerners led by Saraduna, who were followed closely by the Awolowo clique. Foremost novelist Chinua Achebe had laid the blame for the deep-seated disunity confronting Nigeria on the doorsteps of Northern and Yoruba leaders who he said opposed the idea of one Nigeria before and after independence. In his new book, which has become largely controversial in the past days, Mr. Achebe said, while Igbo leaders and intellectuals work hard promoting the idea of one Nigeria, Northern leaders led by the Saraduna of Sokoto, Ahmadu Bello, and their Yoruba counterparts led by Obafemi Awolowo walked in the opposite direction, making sure the dream of a united Nigeria did not materialize. Mr. Achebe made the claim on page 51 of the 333-page book saying the original idea of one Nigeria was pressed by the leaders and intellectuals from the eastern region. With all their shortcomings, they had this idea to build the country as one. The first one to object were the Northerners led by the Saraduna, who were followed closely by the Awolowo clique that had created the action group. The Northern People's Congress of the Saradunians was supposed to be a national party, yet it refused to change its name from Northern to Nigerian People's Congress. Even for the sake of appearances, it refused right up to the end of the civilian regime. The author did not give any details regarding how and where the Northern and Yoruba leaders opposed the idea of a united Nigeria. In the book, Mr. Achebe was full of praises for the Nigerian first president, Nnamdi Azikiwe, who he described as the father of African independence. The father of African independence was Nnamdi Azikiwe, Mr. Achebe said on page 41 of his book. There is no question at all about that. Azikiwe, fondly called by his admirers as Zik, was a preeminent political figure of my youth and a man who was endowed with the political Pan-Africanist vision. He had help, no doubt, from several eminent sons and daughters of the soil. Mr. Achebe criticism of Awolowo's civil war policies in the book has earlier sparked a fierce disagreement between the Yoruba and the Igbo in Nigeria and fired up a rare dichotomy between the two ethnic nationalities, with each side teeming with their king's men. Nearly a week after an excerpt of Mr. Achebe's memoir blaming Mr. Awolowo for starving to death over 2 million Biafran children became public, leading Yoruba leaders and activists have poured invectives on the writer. In turn, Mr. Achebe's Igbo kinsmen have sided with him, justifying his claims and attacking Yoruba critics in return. But our reporter who skimmed through the book last night said Mr. Achebe in one instance eulogized Mr. Awolowo in this book, portraying him as a master politician, tactician, a committed leader of his people, a unifying factor, an excellent organizer, and an erudite and accomplished lawyer. Mr. Awolowo was clearly one of Nigeria's dominant political figures of his time, Mr. Achebe wrote in the book. On page 45 of the book, Mr. Achebe wrote of Mr. Awolowo, by the time I became a young adult, Obafemi Awolowo had emerged as one of Nigeria's dominant political figures. He was an erudite and accomplished lawyer who had been educated at the University of London. When he returned to the Nigerian political scene from London, Awolowo found the once powerful political establishment of Western Nigeria in disarray, sidetracked by partisan and intra-ethnic squabbles. Chief Awolowo and close associates united his ancient Yoruba people with powerful glue, resuscitated ethnic pride, and created a political party, the Action Group, in 1951. From an amalgamation of the Igbo Omo the Nigerian Produce Traders Association, and a few other fractions. Over the years, Awolowo had become increasingly concerned about what he saw as the domination of the NTNT by the Igbo elite, led by Azikiwe. Some cynics believe that the formation of the Action Group was not influenced by tribal loyalties, but a purely tactical political move to reggae regional and southern political power and influence from a dominant NTNT. Initially, Chief Obafemi struggled to woo support from the Ibadan base and the other non-Ijebu Yoruba leaders who considered him as a radical and a bit of an upstart. However, despite some initial difficulty, Awolowo transformed the action group into a formidable, highly disciplined political machine that often outperformed the NCNC in regional elections. He did so by meticulously galvanizing political support in Yoruba land and among the riverine and minority groups in the Niger Delta who shared a similar dread of the prospect of Igbo political domination. Below are other mentions in Awolowo in the book. Achebe's latest work, There Was a Country, page 51. The original idea of one Nigeria was pressed by the leaders and intellectuals from the eastern region. With all their shortcomings, they had this idea to build a country as one. The first object were the Northerners led by the Saraduna, who were followed closely by the Awolowo clique that had created the action group, the Northern People's Congress of the Saradunas. Was supposed to be a national party, yet it refused to change its name from Northern to Nigeria's People's Congress. Even for the sake of appearances, it refused right up to the end of the civilian regime. Page 86. Page 86, by March 1967, 2 months after the summit in Aburi, Ghana, the Aburi Accord resolution had yet to be implemented, and there was growing wariness in the East that Gowon had no intention of doing so. The government of the Eastern region warned Gowon that its repeated failure to act on issues pertaining to Nigerian sovereignty could lead to secession. Gowon responded by issuing a decree, Decree 8, which called for the restoration of the proposal for constitutional reform promulgated during the Aburi conference, but for a reason hard to explain other than as egotistical self-preservation, members of the Federal Civil Service galvanized themselves in an energetic opposition to the agreement of the Aburi Accord. Seeing these developments as a strategic political opening, the Yoruba leader Obafemi Awolowo, the West political opening, heretofore nursing political trouble himself, including prior imprisonment for sedition, insisted that the federal government remove all northern military troops garrisoned in Lagos, Ibadan, Abeokuta, and throughout the western region. A demand similar to those Ojukwu had made earlier during the crisis. Awolowo warned Gowon's federal government that if the eastern region left the federation, the western region would not be far behind. This statement was considered sufficiently threatening by Gowon and the federal government to merit a complete troop withdrawal. Page 88, the first part of May 1967 saw the vision of a National Reconciliation Commission (NRC) to Enugu, the capital of the Eastern region. It was led by Chief Awolowo and billed as a last-minute effort at peace, as an attempt to encourage Ojukwu and Eastern leaders to attend peace talks at a venue suitable to the Easterners. Despite providing a friendly reception, many Igbo leaders referred to the visit disdainfully as the Chop Chop Talk Talk Commission. Page 227. A day later, on January 15, 1970, the Biafran delegation, which was led by Major General Philip F. Young and included Sir Louis Mbanefo, MT Mbo, Colonel David Ogunewe, and other Biafran military officers, formally surrendered at Dodan Barracks to the troops of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Among the Nigerian delegation were General Yakubu Gowon, the Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Military Council, Obafemi Awolowo, leaders of the various branches of the armed forces, including Brigadier Hassan Kastina, Chief of Staff, HEA Ejeuchi, the Secretary to the Federal Military Government, Anthony Enahoro, the Commissioner for Information, Taslim Elias, the Attorney General, and the 12 military governors of the Federation. Anything in history, I find it intriguing. But the thing is, where is the truth in all of this? Everybody is saying theirs is the truth. Where is the truth? All right, on this note, we've come to the end of the news. So thank you for tuning in to listen until I come your next time. Enjoy.